I'm about to tell you something uncomfortable. Your brain is being controlled by an invisible force that decides what you do, what you avoid, and who you become. Every time you pick up your phone instead of that book, every time you scroll instead of starting that project, that's not weakness. That's your brain following a program written by someone else. But here's the truth. The same neural wiring that makes you crave distraction can be rewired to make you crave discipline. Not through willpower, through pure neuroscience. The invisible calculation. Your brain runs a cost-benefit analysis thousands of times per day. High effort, uncertain reward, rejected. Low effort, instant pleasure, approved. This isn't laziness. This is survival programming from when conserving energy meant staying alive. But that ancient brain now lives in a world designed by dopamine engineers. Every app was built by neuroscientists whose only job is to hack your reward system. Your brain isn't broken, it's being weaponized against you. The dopamine trap. Inside your skull, there's a tiny region called the nucleus accumbens, your motivation engine. It runs on dopamine. But dopamine isn't the pleasure chemical, it's the anticipation chemical. It spikes when you expect a reward, not when you receive it. That's why scrolling is addictive. Every swipe might show something interesting, so your brain floods you with dopamine to keep searching. You're not enjoying it, you're chasing it. And here's where it gets dark. When you flood your brain with easy dopamine, something catastrophic happens. Downregulation. Your dopamine receptors literally decrease.
Your brain turns down the volume on satisfaction. Now you need more stimulation to feel anything. That book that once captivated you? Boring. That workout that once energized you? Impossible. You're not losing discipline. You're experiencing tolerance, just like with any drug. People who spend hours on social media feel the most unmotivated because their brains expect constant, hyper-stimulating rewards. Real achievement can't compete. But here's the beautiful part. What can be broken can be fixed. The rewiring protocol. Your brain constantly rewires itself based on what you do. Every choice either strengthens neural pathways for discipline or reinforces pathways for distraction. A dopamine detox isn't about removing dopamine. It's about removing artificial hyper-stimulating sources. Think of your dopamine system like a dimmer switch cranked to maximum brightness. Normal light looks like darkness now. When you remove overwhelming sources of easy pleasure, something remarkable happens. Your dopamine receptors upregulate. They become sensitive again. Suddenly, boring activities start feeling engaging. The satisfaction of completing a task, the energy after a workout, the calm after focused work. These natural awards start registering again. You're not becoming someone new. You're returning to who you were meant to be. The withdrawal phase. The first 3 to 5 days will feel terrible, restless, irritable, anxious. This isn't weakness.
This is withdrawal. Your brain adapted to a certain stimulation level, and now you're pulling it away. The discomfort is proof the process is working. Most people quit right before the breakthrough because they interpret discomfort as failure. But that restlessness is your brain reorganizing itself. Push through it. The 7-day reset. Step 1. Identify your dopamine dealers. What requires the least effort for the most stimulation? For most people, social media, short-form videos, games, but also junk food, online shopping, pornography. Whatever gives intense pleasure with minimal effort, that's your target. Step 2. Create artificial scarcity. Pick a time frame. 3 days minimum, 7 days better, 14 days transformative. Eliminate these sources completely. No moderation, no just checking. Complete removal. Step 3. Replace, don't remove. You must deliberately engage in slower, sustainable rewards. Read a physical book instead of scrolling. Cook a meal instead of ordering. Walk without headphones. Exercise without music.
Journal by hand. These feel boring at first because your dopamine system is tuned to high intensity. But as you persist, your brain starts releasing dopamine in anticipation of these activities too. After a few days of reading, your brain learns that opening a book leads to satisfaction. After a week of workouts, your brain starts craving the endorphin rush. You're literally retraining your reward system.
Let's continue with pleasure versus satisfaction. Pleasure is immediate and fleeting. It requires no effort. Satisfaction is delayed and lasting. It requires effort and comes from internal accomplishment. Modern life bombards you with pleasure, but starves you of satisfaction. That's why you can spend an entire day entertained and still go to bed feeling empty. Here's what nobody tells you. Satisfaction produces more dopamine over time than pleasure does. When you accomplish something difficult, your brain releases dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. This is the runner's high, the creator's flow state, the deep contentment from discipline, and it's far more powerful than any notification. The neuroscience of transformation. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you strengthen your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for planning, decision-making, and self-control. Every time you choose instant gratification, you strengthen your limbic system, the primitive part that operates on impulse. You're literally choosing which part of your brain to upgrade. Over time, discipline stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling like your natural state. What happens after the reset? After a proper detox, your attention span expands dramatically. You get a clarity of thought you forgot existed, genuine excitement about things that used to feel like chores, more energy from stable dopamine instead of spikes and crashes, faster decision-making without constant validation seeking. This isn't motivation. This is your brain functioning as designed, before it got hijacked. The environment equation. You can't rely on willpower when your environment sabotages you. Design your life so dopamine-rich activities require effort to access. Delete social media apps. Use website blockers. Phone in another room when working. Make junk food inconvenient and healthy food visible. Workout clothes laid out. Every single barrier between you and distraction is a vote for who you're becoming. Some of you think this sounds miserable, but that's the trap. You're thinking from the perspective of someone whose brain is already hijacked. From your current state, discipline seems harder than distraction. But from the other side, discipline feels easier because distraction leaves you empty, anxious, and behind. Discipline leaves you accomplished, confident, and in control. Right now, you're not in control. Your phone controls when you feel bored. Algorithms control what you think about. Apps control how you spend your time. That's not freedom. That's hijacking. True freedom is having a brain that works for you. It's choosing difficult things and enjoying them. It's waking up excited instead of dreading. It's going to bed satisfied instead of guilty. Your next move. Don't just watch this and move on. That's what the old version of you would do. Make one decision right now. What's your single highest source of empty dopamine? Identify it, remove it for 7 days, not forever, just 7 days. Notice the restlessness. Notice when it peaks. Notice when it fades. Notice what fills the space. Notice how your relationship with effort shifts. Document it. Because once you feel your brain rewiring in real time, you'll never want to go back. You weren't meant to be a slave to algorithms. You were meant to do hard things and love doing them. That version of you is waiting. The path starts with one choice. Let your brain breathe. Step away from the noise and trust that temporary discomfort leads to permanent transformation. Your brain is ready to be rewired. Are you?